Hey guys, it's Stormy Simsy back with another one. Welcome back if you have been here before, or welcome if you are new here. I am so excited you guys decided to join me here today. We are building in the brand new world of New Haven, and of course, we're using the new business and hobbies expansion pack. I built 3 separate buildings. As you can see, I'm working on the townhouse now, and then next to it is going to be the cafe slash pottery studio, and then next to that on the far right is the tattoo parlor. I'm not exactly sure what you would classify this build style as. I took a lot of inspiration for the middle building from a lot of the buildings that I have in my hometown. So the middle pottery slash cafe is very much inspired by a lot of the businesses that are not too far from my home in my town. But I really enjoyed these roof pieces we got with this pack, and it just added a lot of interest to the building. You can see I just really just built a rectangle and added that roof piece to the top, and I think it gave the building a lot of character and something different that we haven't seen in packs before. So I did play test this build, and I was wondering how it was going to work with you having multiple businesses on one lot. Because, like I said, I have a cafe, I have a pottery shop where you can go and make your pottery, and then I also included a tattoo parlor. So when I went in to register my business, I just combined all of them together. I found that was the easiest way to do it. I have heard that if you have multiple Sims on the lot, they can each run their own business, but unfortunately, you can only run one business at a time. And for this particular lot, I wanted everything to be kind of functional and feel lively, and I wanted the Sims to enjoy whatever activity they wanted to do. So I set it up to where you do pottery as part of what your Sims do when they go to this business. You get a tattoo, or you can drink from the cafe. So that's how I set this particular business up to run. So there is just one sim that is running these 3 businesses. But I will say, after playing with this pack for a little while now and running my own business, it was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed the gameplay and just the overall functionality of it. It actually works, it actually functions. As you know, if you've been playing The Sims a while, sometimes they come out with packs and they're just really glitchy and they're not very fun, like weddings. Weddings don't always work out like you would imagine, but this actually runs and it functions nicely. So it's really got my juices flowing on what other small businesses can I come up with. I'm really, really wanting to do like maybe a dog or a cat cafe. I think that would be really fun. And then I seen something about goat yoga. So maybe your sim will have a small business on a farm and they can have a yoga spot in the backyard where it's fenced in. You can have a bunch of goats running around and you can also pet them. I thought that was such a cute idea. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for a small business, please put them in the comments below because there's just so many endless opportunities with this pack. And I am so excited to see what creative ideas the sim community comes up with. They're already coming out with things that I just would never in a million years think of. It is such a creative community and I adore it. But now getting on and talking about the build, the pink building will be your Sims residential townhouse. The middle building is your cafe and your pottery studio. And then, of course, there at the end is just one level floor is your tattoo parlor. And so inside the pottery studio, I did include the new chalkboard or dry erase board that came with the new pack. And so if you have a level 5, I believe you can have your sim go into that room and actually teach pottery. But if not, my sim was actually more so focused on being a tattoo artist. So, but when I ran the business, everyone came up there and was using the pottery studio just fine, and it actually worked really nicely. They were firing the kiln, and now what I did notice was during gameplay, a lot of the times, your Sims that visit your business would not complete their pottery pieces. So then I would have to go in and scrap a lot of their pottery that they left behind. Or I could take the pottery that they actually finished and just continue firing it and then put it on display and sell it. So that's what I was doing, and it was generating quite a bit of cash through the business. So that is an idea if you happen to open up your own pottery studio. We are now working on the tattoo parlor's lobby though, and I was so excited with how this tattoo shop turned out. I really wanted it to feel very dark and kind of grunge, and you'll see me start working on the little seating area, and then on the wall behind the seating area, I just loaded it up with posters and pictures and whatever I could find because I feel like in the few tattoo parlors I have been into, the walls are always covered with just pictures and portraits and art, and I really wanted to represent that in this build. Actually, funny story, I do have a few tattoos, and I remember the last tattoo parlor I went into, they actually had like a whole couch area, kind of like you see here. But then they also had a huge TV with a gaming console, and I just thought that was so funny. I mean, I'm a gamer clearly, but it's like, well, who's playing the game? Is this the client's friends that are waiting on them to get tattooed? Or are these the actual, tattoo artist gaming console? And, when they're not working on their clients, they can sit there and play games on their Xbox. I thought that was very funny. I remember thinking that, and I did not include an Xbox or anything in in this particular build, but, I did include all these posters on this wall here, and it looked like sketches and things that the tattoo artist might have drawn up during their time working here, and I just thought that was a really nice touch to the build. And you just see me place a bunch of statues inside that display case. And that display case was something that came with the new pack. And I did not realize that that display case it automatically puts everything on sale. So I kinda used it as a display for some of their memorabilia is what I was thinking, but then whenever I opened the shop, everybody came in and bought everything in that. So, there might not be anything in it if you download this from the gallery, but I still thought it filled in the space well, and it kinda added something to this build. And now I'm starting to work on the actual tattoo parlor part where your Sims actually go back and they get their tattoos. And once again, I really just loaded up these walls with posters from all packs. I think the high school years came in handy with a lot of these posters. I know that pack came with quite a few different things as far as posters. And now I'm just filling all this up with ink and just getting things that I think that would be around a tattoo parlor. Like I included this shaver, I think from Bathroom Clutter. And I thought that was perfect because, hey, if you're hairy and you're getting a tattoo, that tattoo artist is going to shave all that hair off before you can even get the tattoo in the place that you want. So I thought that was perfect to include into this space. I did add 2 stations so you could have 2 different tattoo artists come here and tattoo at the same time, so I thought that was nice, and when I was gameplaying this, I did end up hiring an extra tattoo artist, which was really nice, and at that point, my sim had climbed up to, I wanna say, level 6 or 7 of the tattooing, skill, and so I was playtesting the new mentoring um, option that you can now do. I wanna say it was new and it came with a new pack, but you are able to mentor people now if you have a level 5 skill or higher. So I had my sim mentor the new tattoo artist that she hired, and let me just say that tattoo artist was not trying to hear it. She got very upset. I ended up having to fire her. It was a whole thing. So hopefully when I hire my next girl, it will go a little bit more smoother and she'll actually like take my advice. I mean, right? That's part of it, isn't it? Getting on now and working on the tattoo parlor's bathroom, and I really liked how this bathroom turned out. I really love those new wall lights that we got in the new pack. I think they're beautiful and they're simple and they stay very flush with the wall, which I really, really enjoyed. And I did include a bathroom in every business. So now we are getting on and we are working on the cafe slash pottery studio. So downstairs is the cafe and upstairs is your pottery studio. And I really, really enjoyed how this cafe turned out. It's very, very cutesy and very girly. And I really wanted it to be bright and use pink colors. And we're getting into spring now. So I was just really inspired by the very girly feel. And I did include some of the candy in here. I thought it would be cute to include the new candy maker appliance that we just got. And then, of course, I added this new display shelf and I added some of the deep bug candies in there. And now you cannot sell these for money when you open your business, but I thought they just looked really pretty inside that display, so I added that. This cafe doesn't have a load of indoor seating, but I made sure to include a little patio area out front so that if your Sims did come here and get a cup of coffee, that they would have somewhere to sit. Like I said, I didn't have a whole lot of space on the inside, but I did put a little like living nook, I guess you would say, in the back corner, which I thought turned out really cute and very nice. And you can see me just adding a few of the business essentials here. And then I added these stars on the wall, which I am absolutely in love with these stars. I feel like I forget about them a lot, but I really. I should just add them to every build ever because they really, really just make this cafe seem very magical. I really wanted to include a lot of these neon lights, and I want to say that coffee came with the new pack, that new neon light, and the one above it with the monkey came with high school years, I believe. And then the little decals that I'm adding along the border of the wall is from Love Struck, and I thought those looked really pretty and magical in here, and so I had a blast using those items. And then we are getting on to that little living nook here in the back, and I want to say I used the nifty knitting couches. Yes, I did. The nifty knitting couches, and I stuck those back there, and I thought that swatch of them were so cute, and they really complemented this cafe, so I decided on that. And then I'm adding in these fluffy rugs literally everywhere because I wanted it to feel cozy and like somewhere you could come and do some reading and grab a hot cup of coffee and just relax. And I was really, really happy with how this turned out. And I also placed those chandeliers literally in every single part of this building. Like I used the black one in the tattoo parlor and I used the pink swatch in the cafe. And look at that pink swatch, guys. It's magical. I love, love, love that chandelier. That is probably one of my favorite items that came in this pack. And now you can see me just working on this little side nook here. And I just included another table and chairs. And then also you have a little bathroom in the corner here. One thing that I will do in my future cafe builds is I will put that display case next to the coffee machine in the coffee checkout area, just because I feel like a lot of the customers were going behind the counter to get those candies. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. I was kind of limited on space, but I probably should have scooched out the coffee place where you order your coffee and the coffee station, I should say, and put that display case right next to it. But that's another time, another build. I definitely learned from this cafe. Like I said, it didn't interrupt the gameplay too much at all. It was just a little irritating that the customers would go behind the counter, but it's just me being extra, guys. It functions just fine, so keep that in mind. And now I'm working on the bathroom, and I really, really like how this bathroom turned out. It's very simple, very small, but I love that new wallpaper that came with the new pack. It just added that whimsical, pretty pastel spring vibe, and I thought it was beautiful. And now we are getting on to the pottery section of this building. And this is where your Sims can come up and they can either just do a create a piece of pottery, or you can actually host and teach your Sims about pottery up here. So, like I said, you have to have a level 5 in order to be able to mentor or teach the pottery classes. But I thought that was a really nice thing to include, and it is so nice that with this new pack that we're able to branch off with our skills and our activities and be able to actually pass that on down to different Sims depending on how high you are in your field of expertise. You should be able to pass on that knowledge to other Sims. So I thought that was a really great added little detail to this pack. I did only include 1 kiln in this pottery studio, and I may have you may wanna add another one. I think that it was enough, but I know that particular station kinda got jam-packed with people, so it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to add another one in, but I was afraid that I wouldn't have quite enough space. But I think right there, next to the stairs, I could have probably added another kiln, but I ended up going with this table and just adding some pottery pieces onto it as if, that some supplies that they might need, or just odds and ends, maybe pottery that other Sims have done in the past. I kind of incorporated that along the sides of the walls. But now we are getting into the upstairs restroom. And like I said, I did include a bathroom in every single small business. So you also do have a bathroom up here, which came in handy. Instead of your sim having to go all the way downstairs to use the cafe bathroom, they have their own right up here. So I thought that was nice. And I thought it turned out really cute. That new paneling, I believe, came with the new pack as well. And now we are getting on now to the townhouse, which I really decorated this in a style that I'm not used to. It's very modern, but I did add in some old vintage touches in it, and I thought it just came out really nice, and it's really different from anything that I've ever done in the past. So I hope you will enjoy this townhouse. I thought it turned out really cute. I love that green paint that we got. This wallpaper came with the new pack as well. And I did not know how I would feel about the couches and the chairs in this pack, but I ended up loving this swatch with the flowers on it, and it ended up going so nicely with this wallpaper. And so it all really did come together just right. And like I said, this is not my normal style, especially that couch. I don't typically go for boxy things just because I'm not a modern girly. I'm very much a vintage, old school kind of vibe, and so it was really, really refreshing having a new pack and new furniture to pick from because I came up with something I probably would have never come up with if I wasn't trying to use most of the new items from this pack. So I am very, very happy with this living room. And in the kitchen, it turned out so beautiful. I used the new base game cupboards, and I used that yellow swatch, and it turned out just really beautiful, and it fit the whole vibe of this house. Here, I am using that aquamarine chandelier in here, and I thought it complemented. I mean, it doesn't exactly match the green on the walls, but it definitely matches the aqua in the couch, and I thought it was so beautiful. Like I said, I think that's probably my favorite piece that came in this new pack. And then now I am starting here on the kitchen, and those counters, guys, those are such a pretty I mean, this whole kitchen screams spring to me, which is kind of what I was going for. I'm very, very excited for warmer weather and summer days, and so I really wanted to keep this townhouse very bright. Now, I will say I did the bathroom that is right next to the kitchen, right off of the kitchen, that you will see me do in just a minute. It ended up being a bit darker than the rest of the house, but, probably my favorite bathroom that I have ever done. Ever, not even just on my channel, just in general. I It's probably my dream bathroom. If there was a thing and I could create any type of a look for my bathroom, my dream bathroom, I feel like I would go along the lines of purple and deep plums, kinda like I did here in this bathroom. It really, really all this new stuff really inspired me, so I had so much fun. I did include the new candy maker in the kitchen as well, and I thought that would be really nice for your son to incorporate inside their small business. They could, come home after, their shift and maybe make a few candies that they could put into the cafe display, and I thought that was a really nice touch. I ended up adding a bar here, and, I thought that was kind of a good spot for the bar and then, of course, a trash can, and I did put a little, small dining room table in here. I managed to fit that in just so. Now, you might want to delete a couple of the chairs because I did notice during gameplay that my sim would get up and get stuck behind the table. So, I mean, maybe not 4 chairs, but you could definitely get away with 2 or 3. And I kind of just smushed it there in that corner. And I thought it was really cute, though. That table and that chairs came with the new pack as well. And then that picture frame came with the Life and Death expansion pack, and I thought that was a really good touch to add above the table. And now we are getting in on that bathroom that I was telling you about that I thought it just turned out so pretty. But looking back, I would have probably switched that wallpaper out for the opposite wall because I put the stars on the other wall and then I put the wallpaper on this wall. But, looking at it now, I probably would have switched those two walls. But either way, I thought it turned out really pretty, that bathtub. Oh my gosh, that's probably the most exquisite bathtub I've ever seen, and I would love that in in real life, please. Yes, thanks. But I thought it turned out very chic and very glam. This is probably the most glam bathroom I've ever seen. I added in the rug from Love Struck, and then you can see me going in and add in the stars, and what a whimsical bathroom. I could totally take a bubble bath in there and stare at the stars on the wall, and I would just be in heaven, okay? That would be my idea of heaven. And I just added a few things into this bathroom. I added these flowers. I want to say those flowers are from my wedding stuff, and then just your toothbrushes and your soap. And then I added these new candle lights from the new Business and Hobbies pack as well. I believe you can make those candle lights when you are molding your clay. You can make those. I think, don't quote me on that. I think you can make those in the pottery skill. And now I am working on the primary bedroom, and I ended up going with this pink swatch on the bed, which I really, really do like this bed. It's very pretty and very modern. I like it. And so I added a little TV there in the corner. I thought it would be nice if they had their own little private oasis they could come to after their long shift and just relax and unwind and maybe watch some TV. I also included like a little living area and a record player, and then I put the new closet on the other side and I hung some of the clothes on the rack, and I thought that worked out really nicely. I did include the art sketch pad because my sim, like I said, was in the tattoo field and she needed one of those iPads to digitally draw out her art. So I did include that in her bedroom for her. And then those fairy lights ended up being very versatile. I could string them in different ways, and you can kind of create your own design with them. So they kind of um, give you a lot of options as far as what to create with those fairy lights, which I really do enjoy. You can give me all the fairy lights you want, Sims. I will take them gladly and graciously. Thank you. And now I'm just finishing up this bathroom for the upstairs, and I did include in a second bedroom, but ended up I just created one sim for me for this house that was running the business, but I wanted to give you guys an option to maybe have roommates, or if your sims already have kids and you want to download this lot, that there is an extra bedroom for whatever you want to do. I just added in two single beds, and I kind of imagine that either some kids were in this room or maybe some roommates, or maybe she even made friends along the way that, wanted to move in with her. She's got a couple extra bedrooms to accommodate any kind of friends that want to stay over or anything like that. Like I said, it's a super small room, so I didn't have a lot of space for much, but I tried to include a few things in here just to give it some personality. But like I said, I wanted it to be kind of whatever you guys want to use it for in your gameplay. And now I am just working here on this little entry hallway and just placing a few things, a rug, and then I added in that salt light. And I'm adding some chairs and some tables out here for the patio of the cafe. I just wanted your Sims to have a few extra seating areas that in case that cafe got full, which it when I was opening this business, that cafe was popping, guys. That was probably the most central area of the build. I felt like a lot of Sims really kind of hung out there at that cafe. So I wanted there to be extra seating that if you needed it, it was there. So we are getting on to the end of the build, guys, and I'm just adding a few final details to this build. And oh, wait, no, I think I am going to actually add a little yard area up here of the townhouse. I forgot, I forgot about that. I did end up fencing in the front of this townhouse just so there wasn't much of a backyard, so I really wanted there to be like an outdoor space for your sim that when they were home, they could come out here and stargaze or, grill. Or I did place a few planters and a few decorations, and then also your mailbox and your trash can and just some things like that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today and for supporting me. It means so much to me, and I cannot wait to see you in my next build. Thanks. Bye.